So every single year we come on the channel and we talk about exactly how much money did the channel make, for example, last year in 2022. Now, I gotta be honest here, YouTube is not my only source of income, but it is like a big chunk and it does mean something meaningful, okay? Now, the reason I make these videos is because basically when I first was curious about YouTube, I always wanted to know, like, how much money do creators actually make? Is it actually worth all the effort of making videos, not seeing any money for years, and then potentially in the future, you might have a chance to actually earn money? So in this video, I'm gonna tell you a lot more just than, hey, I made X amount of money. No, I'll tell you exactly what I learned from this, how I spent the money, and if it's actually worth all the hard work. Now, by the way, a lot of the times people see results and they're like, wow, that's a pretty good amount of money. But a lot of times people forget that basically I was doing YouTube since I was like about 11 years old. And I saw the first dollar from YouTube about like when I was like 20 or like 21 years old. So in reality, it's not like, oh my gosh, it's like it took a long time to actually get to this point. So keep that in mind as you watch this video. Now, the very first thing is, as always, guys, like this video on top of also subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. Now, I'm not gonna have you wait until the very end of the video to tell you, hey, I made X amount of money. In reality, if you pause the video, you would have seen right back here exactly how much money I made. So in 2022, we got about 9.5 million views, and that got us about 133,000 new subscribers. So welcome to the channel. And on top of that, that made us a whopping $185,000 from YouTube. Now, by the way, as you guys can see, the strange thing is that people think that to make a lot of money on YouTube, you need to have, for example, a lot of subscribers or, for example, get a lot of views. You know, I have neither of those things. Yes, this channel has over 500,000 subscribers, but overall, it's not because I'm posting bangers and crazy viral videos. It's just because of just consistency. That's all I do here. I'm a very boring guy, and my goal since the very beginning hasn't been to get 1 million views per video or 100,000 views per videos. It's always just been, if I can make one video and that video can help one person and I see one like, one comment saying, Tommy, this helped me, then my job has officially been done. That's why I've always focused on volume and helping individuals. That's why I make a video every single day. That's why when this channel, on average, we get like 2,000 to 5,000 views. That's why I get so excited, because in the beginning, it was just like 7 views. It was me, my mom, my sister, and 4 random people that accidentally clicked the video. And then when it started to help more people, to me, that's awesome. To me, it's never been about views, you know? And it's not to say, you hear this a lot, you know, it's not about money. Money doesn't matter. Before I was doing YouTube, I was making like 8,000 bucks per month with a business I was just getting started with. So I had a lot more potential with that business than I had, for example, with YouTube. But YouTube, since I was 11 years old, has always been my goal in a sense. But not YouTube in a sense, because that's just like a childish goal. But it's just always been to help people find out something about money and finances that they didn't know before and could basically change their lives. And that's my mission. It's my goal. It's not views or anything like that. And by the way, I've made several mistakes on YouTube, which I'm gonna share with you guys later on in this video. Now, you're probably wondering, Tommy, okay, so if the channel made you around $185,000, what did you do with the money? The answer is, like I tell you guys, okay, I'm a very boring guy. Like, I'm the most boring guy on YouTube for a reason. I'm not going out there and buying Mercedes and Audis and fancy cars or getting fancy mortgages for fancy houses. The answer is I'm not doing any of that stuff. So what I did was in 2022, I think it was 2022, I'm not good with dates, okay? I'm sorry. So I moved to Puerto Rico and I bought a home and I put in around total cost around $180,000 overall in that home. And you might say, Tommy, that meant you spent like all your money on that house. The answer is no. Like I don't spend more money than I make. I've never have. So in reality, I always have a lot of savings. So I bought that home for like around 180K total after remodel and everything like that. I also bought a car, a Prius. I don't have a fancy Mercedes or Audi. I have a Toyota Prius. I bought it for $9,000. It has less than 100,000 miles and it drives me great. On top of that, I also bought some investments. Now I have over $300,000 in my investments investments. And to me, that means a lot because that gives me more passive income, and that can make me anywhere from like $30,000 a year to maybe potentially a little bit more dependent on the market. But it's not to say I'm taking that money out, because that money is really for the future and compounding and everything else. On top of that, this year I did something I hadn't done in a very long time. In the past 6 years, I paid off debt. I paid off I think it was like $49,000 or $50,000 in debt, and that was basically a business loan and also, for example, student loans. I paid that off. And you know, the thing is, when you teach a lot about money and finances, you start to get too smart. And you start to do things that are very smart, but not things that actually make you happy and give you peace of mind. So this debt I had was at a very low interest rate. And it makes sense for me to keep it and keep doing the whole payments thing and just invest the difference. But for my financial peace, it just did not make me feel good. And that's why I paid it off, what the year 2022 was a year of just me removing a lot of friction. So by buying a home and paying for it in cash, by having my own car, cash, by having, for example, my investments, by having, for example, no debt, this created a lifestyle where I have very little friction. My lifestyle cost per month is like $1,000 per month, and I can basically live like a rich person in a sense on a very poor income because I have a nice house, okay? Now, that's what I did with the money. Now, you're probably wondering, Tommy, what big changes did you see and what did you learn from this whole experience, okay? In reality, first I want to say thank you for coming to the channel every single day. I know who you guys are, okay? I know who the 1,000 to 2,000 people are that whatever the video is, you guys click, you guys like, you guys comment. I appreciate you guys a ton, and I love you guys, okay? And we are the long-term team. But I always say this, and I say this all the time, although like I have like a course, like I really don't promote it because when it comes to money, guys, I am into the finance world. I do understand numbers. I understand efficiency. I understand where it is to spend money on something that makes no sense, no return. But overall, my goal really just is to make content to help people understand things when it comes to their finances and just simplify things as much as possible. That's why when I speak, it's not like I don't know fancy words. I know them, but I just don't see the sense in using them because it's all about, can any person out there understand what I'm saying? So again, I want to say thank you. And what I learned the most from 2022 was basically less tends to be more. You know, I had, for example, this whole idea, this whole concept of the more money I make, the better things are gonna be. And then it's like, I read this quote, and the quote says, "To the man with many desires and not enough money to accomplish them, it's better to have less desires than it is to have more money." Because a lot of the times, you know, I could squeeze out maybe 10 times more money from this channel. I really could. But that would require, for example, a lot more work, a lot more effort, time away from my family, from my friends, from my religion, you know, like I'm a Christian, you know, and to me, God is like important. God is number one. So all these things matter to me the most. And what my goal is with YouTube is to be the best I possibly can at doing what I do. But it's not a relation to money. It's not a relation to making billions and millions of dollars. It's just not what I'm interested in anymore. Now, overall, guys, here's the question. Tommy, has this been worth it? Was it worth it to go 11 years without earning any money from YouTube to then potentially make some money now? The answer is YouTube was worth it for me before it made me any money. Because to the man that loves walking, he would walk longer than the man just wants to get to a certain place. And what that basically means is I quit several times with YouTube. But it never meant I was actually going to be done with it. Because from the very beginning, it's what I always wanted to do. It's what I always felt like I needed to do. So overall, YouTube was worth it for me when it didn't make me any money. I did YouTube when I was making, for example, enough money to basically be secured and not have to worry about money. So YouTube was just always something I wanted to do. So if you're a creator, if you're someone that wants to start a business or just wants to share information, whether that's gaming, whether that's finance like me, whatever it is, just ask yourself, is this what you really want to do? Some people, they get lucky and they make it, they blow up, and then they go down. Some people, though, the people that actually last the longest in this platform are the people that are consistent when the times are good, when the times are bad. And one person I admire the most with that is probably, for example, Graham Stephan is awesome. Like, that's a guy that's in my field, but beyond our field is probably like PewDiePie. That guy has been making videos since the very beginning, and to me, that's awesome. So when I think about the future of this channel, all I think about is consistency like that, to be able to come on here every single day and make a new video that helps someone with that entire idea. And my only job is to keep reading books, to keep learning, to keep understanding. So when I come on here, it's not just as a ritual or like a religion, because I hate those. It's more of like, I really have something to say, and I really have something to teach you guys that's probably going to help you. So overall, guys, that is it. 2022 was a great year. The channel got 9.5 million views. We got over 100,000 new people that came to the channel. We made around $185,000. We simplified our lifestyles, which is great. And 2023 is also going to be a great year, whether we make more money or less money. And by the way, this year, I really do want to make a lot more products and courses and so on. And these are all things that are very helpful, because when you have over 1,000 videos and you just sort through them, it's not pretty good, okay? And whenever you give something, people don't tend to value it. So paying money for it is also super important psychologically. And it also makes me money, which I like to have more money too, okay? So it's not a bad thing, okay? So guys, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. God is good, God is awesome, God will provide, and that's what I always say, okay guys? So as always guys, like this video and top out, also subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, comment down 2022. Everyone's gonna be like, why are people commenting down 2022 if it's 2023? But you'll know why if you made it all the way to this part of the video. As always, another video here, my base here, come subscribe, and as always, LONGTERM team officially out.